Infusión para llevar.
Yes.
But if I'm waking up for work, I'm like very slow out of bed. But if I'm waking up to go dance, like if it's festival weekend, for some reason, I'm like, all right, let's go. So I feel like it's music and dancing. Like the things that drive me are the things that like make me want to work. So if I had a tip, I think it would be find exercise that you love that doesn't feel like work. Because the things that feel like work, you're not going to want to do and you're not going to do them. So like
I agree.
find the things that you love. If you love walking in nature, if you love bike riding in beautiful parks, if you love dancing late at night to salsa music, do the things you enjoy because the time will fly by. But also cross train so that you're not overusing certain muscles. This is another thing. So this is something I'm learning now that I've stopped belly dancing. Belly dance was very good at keeping uh, the core stretched and strengthened. Um, it's not very good for the like backs of the legs, and I was having difficulty with tightness in some areas,
Uh,
even while I was belly dancing. So like, if you have a friend that's a physical therapist, I would recommend asking for exercises for the areas that you're probably weak in, because I had knee problems once I started doing only salsa, and they were like, that's normal, tight hips and knee issues because of wearing heels. And they gave me a list of exercises to do to like try to counteract those things.
mhm.
Um, but they said everyone, literally everyone on the planet, if you are sitting for most of your day, you're like tight in the front of your hips and you're weak in your glutes and the backs of your legs. They're like literally everyone. Those are my recommendations.
You know what? I love that you are a geek and that you are an athlete because normally it's like, like athletes, geeks. No, they're a wider spectrum as everything else. So for me, it's like uh, for me, belly dancing was the first thing to be more doing more sport. Even my dad was a great athlete. He won every competition. He did every sport, and so I love to go in nature. That's my stuff. But for me, doing something else was kind of boring. Like going to the gym was extremely boring. Like I couldn't. I tried. I tried and I wasn't on time and I stayed there. I was like, I can't. So for me, something that changed. I don't know if you know Samantha Emmanuel. She gave me like very coaching. Like I love her as a coach because she's not like the coaches that stay with me for life. Like like she's like, let's train 1 month, let's train 3 months. Like let's do this, and she's very like she shares teachers and a lot of stuff. And she told me an idea about doing 5 minutes something if you're too bored. And I was with injured, and I had my right wrist was really bad for the computer.
Mm.
And I had a sickness, and this thing went like it was crazy. I couldn't do anything. It was really bad, and I was really scared because everybody that has a lot of pain here, they get a surgery, and it's too much. And I was taking care of that, and that helped me. But I'm still working, and I will keep doing that. And I want that music. I want all your music.
No problem.
can.
I will definitely give you a fun playlist.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I love your energy. I don't have it for it. It's not in my genes. It's not. Maybe my dad's. Oh, you know what I have in my genes? Muscular stuff. I don't go to the gym and I got muscles. And I'm like, Why? I don't want muscles, because for me it was like I don't want them, and now it's like, oh, thank you so much, you're supporting my legs. Yeah, it's genes. I don't know. Everybody has their own things. Um, how to imagine the best dance community in the future? How it should be?
I'm thinking of my perfect dance community in the future.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
you can imagination cap on. You can have your imagination over.
so I think first, and this is a recurring theme in my dance and my theories about dance, is that we should be more focused on the internal pleasure that dance brings rather than the external appearance of dance for performance purposes. I'm not saying that technique is not important by any means. I am not saying that performance is the devil by any means. However, I think when the dance community starts to focus on like social media and likes and comments and going viral and being famous and fitting into society's norm of what beautiful influencers should look like, it damages dance as a healing art form. And so I think the average person that comes into dance is not doing it to be famous, and they're not doing it to be a professional, and they don't have these goals of performing and teaching and traveling until they see that is the priority of a lot of other people, and it like influences their brain, and then everyone has this mentality that like, if I don't go viral, my dance is not important. And that bothers me, honestly. Like, I don't want to be an old lady, but I really feel like the TikTok and Instagram trend of like just pushing out 50 seconds of the most impressive thing you've ever seen, it is not what dance is about for me at all. And I feel like when I when I try to I think part of it is also that like I don't necessarily think of myself as an influencer. I always think it's a little bizarre when people ask for my opinion or tell me that I have had a huge influence on them in dance. Like I feel like I'm on my own little journey of like, I like to explore dance as much as possible. I like the way it makes me feel, and so I just keep doing it. I'm like plugging away, not really I don't necessarily have a goal. I don't have a goal except to learn and to experience as much as possible. And when I teach, I feel like I try to bring that energy to class. The point isn't to be perfect at this thing. The point is to enjoy it and to allow some downtime from the stress of life. Like dance is therapeutic, dance is healing, dance is like my Zen space, and I want other people to be able to feel that. So if we if we as a community could prioritize that a little bit more, I would be super happy. I think second, that it's really important to focus on more equity work and fighting discrimination within each of our dance communities. The dance community is a microcosm for the entire world. And so it shouldn't be surprising that the things we see in everyday life of sexism and just discrimination based on race and sexuality and gender and ableism, finds its way into the dance community as well. It shouldn't surprise me, but it does disappoint me. I feel like a lot of dances are created because of discrimination, and that these dances are art forms for the purpose of like freedom for the oppressed. It's to create a safe space for people who don't feel safe in other communities. And a lot of dances are like that. Hip hop for the oppression of Black people, and Vogue and wacking for the oppression of gay minorities, and like Dabke for the oppression of Arabic people. Like, all of these dance forms are built out of oppression. So to see oppression seeping into these dance forms, coming in from a majority who is now the influencers in a scene, in a community that they don't belong to, feels weird to me. And I come into all of these dances as a visitor myself. I am not from these communities. And so I do feel a responsibility to learn about the history, to learn where they came from and why, and to respect the community of people who built it and who continue to foster it, as opposed to raising teachers who are from outside of that community above the people that are from the community. So I think more focus on, I think this is connected to my third thing, which is more representation from the people whose culture it is, these dances. So more raising of recognition for dancers from the Middle East, from North Africa, like the whole MENAT region, bringing those dancers into focus if what you're doing is called belly dance. If what you're doing is not called belly dance, then don't call it belly dance and do something else. If you literally are doing fusion, call it fusion, drop the name belly dance, drop the name MENAT, don't call it something that you're not doing. You know, if you're not going to represent the dance, don't use the name.
Yes.
This is also part of it. And listening to those people from the culture when they tell you that things you are doing are disrupting or damaging or disrespecting the culture. That's also a key point. And then I think outside, this is just for everyone in the community, but being more warm and welcoming. I feel like I see a lot of drama that is unnecessary. And
that's not true, Serena. That's not true.
Funny. Maybe these things don't happen in Mexico. Maybe this is just my experience.
Yes.
But across the board, I think that sometimes when people end up in a position where they're relying on the dance monetarily, that they end up in a scarcity mindset where if the money isn't coming to them, then it's going somewhere else and they're in danger of losing their profitability. And it's going to happen. This is economics, and I'm not going to go math nerd, I swear. But
you can.
I think, I think we have like a hippie contingent in the U.S. that's like, there's enough for everyone, and there's money for all, and every teacher can open a studio, and that's not true either. Okay? Like if everyone that's a student becomes a teacher, you don't have enough students to have a community.
Yes.
So there's a balancing act that needs to come here. But I think part of it is recognizing whether or not you are called to teach, whether or not you have respect for the art of teaching, or whether you are just trying to make money because you think that this is easier and more fun than a desk job. I think you really have to love educating people to be a teacher, and you really have to be good at recognizing when things are your ego talking and be able to let those things go. Because your purpose as a teacher is not to build you, it's to build your students.
Yes.
And if your students can't grow with you anymore, you need to send them somewhere else. And if they're trying to grow in a different direction, you can allow that to happen. Allow them to go to other teachers. Allow them to go see other events. This doesn't say anything about you as a teacher if they decide to go in a different direction. Every person has a different goal in life. And I feel like there's a lot of ego in the dance scene, not just in belly dance, but like the Latin dance scene and the hip hop scene and the Western dance scene. Like there are teachers across the board that are like, you can't go to another dance studio. You can't perform with another group. I don't want you going to that workshop. I don't want you supporting this other social. Like, it's just, I think it's damaging to the community to draw lines where they don't need to be, to allow people to cross over and experience other things.
Yeah.
So my perfect dance scene is inclusive and warm and fostering of beginners, and respectful of culture while also not stagnating in growth, and focused on the pleasure and healing power of dance as a movement art. Now make it happen.
I agree so much with that. I have heard that so many times. Not all good dancers, not all good dancers are good teachers. Not all good teachers are good dancers. You can have both. You can have either. So that's for true. I have seen it. I have lived it. It's true. I gave classes when I was maybe 2 years belly dancing, and I stopped. And I am so happy I decided, because when I was only 2 years, so many people went like, "Oh, you're a belly dancer," and there were not many belly dancers around. But I swear I will have done really bad students, because my technique wasn't good. My technique was still building, so I stopped, and I'm so happy I did. Even if people were like, "Why you stop the dance? Why you stop the classes?" And I was like, I'm not ready. I cannot do it. But other dancers, they start when they have like 1 month of classes, and you have to build your skills. And something that Rachel Bryce said, and Rachel, I love her. Many love her. I don't know. I hope everybody loves her. She's very humble for all the things she have got in life. I will put it that way very easily. That's my point of view of her. And she said that you have to be to keep in mind that your student can become better than you. If you want to be a teacher, you need to be aware that your student, and you need to be supportive that your student can become better than you. And if you're not willing to see your student being better than you, you should not be teaching. And I was like, wow, that's so powerful, because Rachel had amazing students that did amazing stuff. And it's like, oh, Oh, it's so true. You need to, if you're going to have students, you need to give them the best tools. And not like, oh, I'm going to keep this for me. You have to. And that's it. And prepare and keep growing. So I agree so much to what you said.
Thank you. Yeah, I had someone just recently told me that they had a teacher who said, if you have been studying for less than 8 years, you have no business teaching. And I feel like most
Now,
of us,
people, did you hear?
8 years.
Not two, not three,
8.
like eight on.
Yeah. And I feel like most people start before that, and most people start before they feel they're ready.
Yeah.
And it's true. They're not. And in a lot of areas, they are the best that is available.
Mm-hmm.
And so people want to learn. And in that situation, I can understand if they choose to teach. But I do feel that people need to assess their level honestly,
Mm-hmm.
and know whether or not they are going to be passing on bad technique and bad habits to others,
Yeah.
and consider whether or not that's a good idea, because a lot of people have technique that could get somebody injured. It's
Yeah.
not even just that their dancing won't look good, it's you might hurt somebody.
Yeah.
And are you willing to, not even are you willing, but like, should you do that? And the answer is probably no.
When you said that, I got that injured. My knee did like a when walking, because I had one teacher, not saying names. I still have a great relationship with him, but he didn't have wood floor, and I thought it was okay. And with the time, I was thinking, oh no, we need a good floor, and if you have wood floor, it's better. Um, so it was a lesson for me. Like I can't attend classes because my knee is so bad that I want my knee. So, but other people aren't so lucky to see what is causing their pain until they maybe have an injury, a really severe injury. And some people have back pain for because the teachers teach laybacks and they are not prepared, for example, or even the simple mayas can be harmful. So I have heard histories about people with injuries because teachers push them too much. And yeah, it's very, the person there is following you. The person there is taking your advice for granted. So you need to tell them good directions and good basics, and also asking them to go to doctors and asking them to go with experts, and not just leaving everything like, oh, your posture is good. No, you need to go with somebody who assists you, not just the teacher, right? And I think I'm not sure in US. I think you have a great education on that on many studios, but in Mexico we still need a little bit more. Go with a doctor. I believe your posture is okay, but go with a chiropractor that tells you if it's okay. Go, you have a pain, go with a doctor. It's more, we need more about that conversation, and it's starting, I think.
I
Yeah.
think it depends on the studio here,
Mm-hmm.
whether or not uh, their understanding of, um, I guess, body awareness and physiology is good. It really depends on the teacher. But I think uh, there are a good number of teachers now who have studied like the anatomy of the body as well as the dance side of things, so that they can give good corrections and posture,
Yeah.
and have like personal training certifications along with their dance.
Yeah.
I would feel better going to a teacher who has more body anatomy knowledge and teaches to stay within your, not necessarily your comfort zone, but like to understand when your body is giving you signals and not to ignore them. I feel like there are some teachers that are like, push harder, you can do it. And like the first thing I say in class is literally like, listen to me, but if your body says to do something else, listen to your body first.
Yes.
I can't be there in everyone's body to tell you when you're going too far, but your body will tell you. It gives you little signals. It says that's not comfortable. Listen to that.
And Serena is an athlete. So if an athlete tells you, listen to your body, I think there's something good advice there to say. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an athlete, so I could be having a lack of experience, but Serena knows. So Serena, it's super important for me. There's something you want to add that you consider important for the dance community? Let's not say belly dance. Let's say fusion, Egyptian dance community, anybody who feels identified in this space. So something you think it's valuable that you want to say, to add, that you want more, want less. I know we talk about building the global community, but something you think we haven't talked about that it's needed to talk about? People need to speak Spanish. Just kidding.
I've been studying Spanish for a long time, and I still don't feel comfortable in conversation, which makes me really sad. I wish I did. More Americans should learn more languages, and I am one of these people that only speaks one fluently, and it makes me sad.
I think it's very hard because you don't sleep, you go to dance all night, then you do maths, then you dance 5 hours per day. I understand why you don't talk like 5 languages, it's normal.
But I'm dancing to salsa music. I should be able to understand the lyrics by now. Oh, that! Studying the music and the culture, and looking up the lyrics to a song before you perform to it. It's just a random side note.
Like if you see a song that talks about something very religious, try not to dance. I mean, not just try, don't do it.
So the Latin dance community is also having this conversation about Afro-Cuban religious movement and music, and whether or not it is acceptable to be taking the movement without knowledge of where it comes from and a respect for the form.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it just mirrors everything that I've been seeing in the Middle Eastern dance community for such a long time, of like divorcing the community or taking music and not really understanding it, or considering whether or not you should understand it before you dance to it, or taking music from the African American community that has lyrics that perhaps are sensitive, or meanings that are sensitive to the African American community. So essentially, I think it's just a sensitivity to what you don't know and a willingness to research until you do know, and not using those things until you know.
Sounds easy, right?
It sounds easy. It's incredibly difficult, and you're going to screw it up.
Oh, that's good. Please talk more about that.
This is something that Donna says as well. The like fumbling forward, being
Listen to Donna and Serena.
definitely listen to Donna for sure.
Yeah.
Recognizing that you are going to screw up. Not everyone has the same, I would say, tolerance for uh for fusion or for
Yes.
a, appreciation versus appropriation of objects, and not letting your ego get to you when someone says that what you did hurt them. And we actually, we put together a festival called Emerge Dance Festival this past summer. And it was me, Carolina Lux, Rin Ajna, Michelle Sorensen, Kelly Lee from Taiwan, and the two ladies from Lucitera in Canada.
Ah.
And that was like an all-star team of organizers to work with, and we had this panel discussion that, among other things, discussed the different aspects of appropriation versus appreciation, and recognizing that you're gonna screw it up, but that doesn't excuse you from not trying to not screw it up. But also just trying to be from both sides of the spectrum, whether or not you feel hurt by someone's actions or whether or not you're the person who accidentally hurt someone's actions, trying to find a place where you can talk to each other without the whole cancel culture phenomenon. Being able to listen.
That's very sad.
Yeah, I have feelings about that.
I don't like. I don't like. I would be the first to defend anybody to be canceled just because somebody feels they need to be canceled. Like, but this weekend happened. We were talking about before the Zoom edition stuff. The Donna, the reunion in the Delta, Donna Mejia's. I was there. You weren't. Why?
Because I had a Black Latin dance festival that I had to attend at the same time.
No excuse. Nah, just kidding.
I sent Donna an email asking whether or not the sessions were recorded so that I could watch it later. I tried to be good.
Oh, no, just kidding. But I believe they're going to decide if they put that out. Like all my videos, everybody needs to be happy with the outcome. And the thing is, it was amazing because there were so many points of view that you can or might not agree. And it was amazing. I loved they could talk about how they felt and thought about so many subjects. And it wasn't like social media. No, I agree. No, I don't agree. But this thing, but these people, and it's like, and I don't like that because it's too noisy. It's like you're losing the meaning. And I love this colloquium. I almost forgot the word colloquium because they were able to express the whole idea. Like they say the whole idea why they agree or disagree or how they wanted to be things without being interrupted and making a mess. Like making a lot of opinions all crossed and with no sense. And for me, it was like, wow, this is what we need. We need to listen to somebody that we're not agree or like saying controversial things, but maybe for them are not controversial. Maybe for them are so normal and everyday life. And maybe for us, it's not something we don't like. Maybe there's somebody who wants to do a fusion to something religious and they don't want to hear that, but they have to because it's important for someone else. So I adore that. I I'm an advocacy of diplomacy. I have always heard it's not possible, and I don't agree. I believe you can do things diplomatically and elegant and listen to things you don't like without being mean and without being hurting each other. And I believe that what Donna did was save space in an era of social media that is really complicated. And those are my most beautiful words I can say for that. Because these aren't easy subjects. These are very hard. Somebody can be hurt because of their religion, because of their family values, or because of a war, or because of somebody did something horrible and they are mocking of them, and we don't even know. So yeah, it was amazing, and I hope they put something up later. I believe so. Maybe not everything. I don't know, but it was really good.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I would like to be able to see it. I was really sad that I wasn't able to see it.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But I think you're fine.
I've seen Donna speak on the topic multiple times before. She's done seminars at multiple festivals that I've been at with her, just discussing appropriation and discussion within the community and fumbling forward and how to move forward with naming and history and respect. She is a brilliant mind, and I am so glad that she's within the community.
Yeah, and I'm so glad I was invited to be there.
It's important to understand
wow.
that no matter where you are
wow.
in the continuum of
it's just they spoke about everything you can imagine.
The truth is, everything has
and it was really good. It was coming from a place of
and so we're going to just talk as if
trying to help the community. You know, it wasn't from a place from their egos, or no, it was a really beautiful place. All the conversations, and I appreciate that. And I think everybody was kind of feel like, you know, like this breathing stuff, and not like, oh my god, no, more like, oh my god, that was amazing, you know, and that's special, I think so. So, what else I wanted to say? I don't know. We can talk forever, and I will be happy.
We're good like that.
Yeah, I cool. I chat with friends. But I just want to know how you feel about this conversation before we end, because I don't want to keep you all the time. You must be willing to do a dance right now or something. Yeah. That's exclusive. I know. I mean, what do you think about this conversation? How do you feel about everything we have talked today?
I really enjoyed the topics that we covered. It was very varied, which I think is rare, but I think because we had an unlimited amount of time, we were able to cover.
Yeah.
I also think people shy away from asking me about the like Black dance experience. And so I'm glad and a little surprised that you asked about it because I do think it's important. And I think that a lot of the conversations that are happening, or maybe this is just my impression, is like trying to solve what's going on in the US specifically, with the hope that that will filter to all of the countries that are watching us. But I think that within each country, they have their own specific issues, as well as the issues that we have in the US to manage, where, as an example, that the naming convention that people have tried to change of using Donna's name that she came up with.
Transnational.
Yes.
Transcultural.
Transcultural or transnational fusion. That was actually a problem in some other countries where the concept of like national dance creates other problems that in the US we didn't notice. And so it's a curious thing to think about the fact that people are watching the US for cues when the US is a highly racist and sexist country itself. And so I appreciate you asking my opinion, and I hope that Afro-Mexican dancers do get something out of this conversation, and that seeing me does inspire them in some way to keep dancing. Please keep dancing.
Yes,
if only for yourself. But I feel like I have not had to answer questions that were so philosophical in nature. And I like to think about them. I just don't often get the chance to discuss them. So it was enjoyable. I liked it very much. I have had 4 interviews this month, which is weird because I have had no interviews for all of like 8 months.
And this one was kind of like going to be in December, but something happened to me.
No rush. It was perfectly fine. And it gave me time to ponder over the past couple of weeks what I would say for these answers, because they're very heavy, deep questions, which I like. I like having to think about these thoughtful ideas of where we can go as a community.
Yeah, because this is your opinion and it matters and it can give ideas. I don't know, maybe somebody can say, oh, I haven't thought about it. Good idea. Oh, I haven't thought it was a problem. Yeah, it's a problem. You know, and I love to bring people and I thought you were a great candidate to ask those questions that aren't easy. I don't believe I will do those questions to everybody.
No.
Let's say it that way. But I like to question those things in the most beautiful way because everybody's in a different place. The subjects we talk are very new for someone and very old for another one. So I want everybody have the opportunity to watch the video and feel welcome and feel like we're giving something to them and not like something that is for experts, let's say so. And I love so much that you talk about people doing dance, not just for professional stuff. That was really good because not everybody wants to be a professional and not everybody should be a professional. And I see, for example, and I discussed this with a friend like 2 days ago, like why you can go to a belly dance, sorry, from my foot the academic stuff. Why they can go like in a Zumba class? Why they can just go to enjoy and have a good time and don't feel the pressure to perform or to buy the costume, or why they can just go and just relax and chill and forget about their problems, and maybe they need that time for healing. Actually, that's the reason many of us stay on this dance. It's a very healing dance. The movements connects our body. In the US, you made an amazing job about the body awareness that it's needed, in my opinion, in other places. Some Europeans too, because I don't know many Europeans, but I know some. and you do amazing job about somebody. If somebody has an injury, if somebody has a problem, a sickness, if somebody has a depression or anxiety, you are very welcome. And I've seen many people from so many backgrounds, and I love that from US. That's something that, because right now many people are just like, no, US is doing it wrong. Not so much. They are doing amazing stuff. Otherwise, we will not be watching you, right? I mean, you're doing amazing stuff, and I think you're gonna fumble many times, and we are going to fumble too. And I don't think Mexico is perfect, and I don't think any country is perfect on dance or any subject or any human. But I love to talk these subjects with you because I want to bring something good to the table and food for thought. I'm not saying Serena is right or Ellie is right. It's just, we're just giving you things to think. And we're talking opinions in the best way we can, and with the best tools we have. And maybe in 10 years we can say, oh, I have a new tool. You know, I don't know. Might happen. We don't know. Right?
I would hope in 10 years we're even more evolved.
Yeah, and I hope I can be fit as you in 10 years. Maybe. Well, a little bit, maybe not that much because my genes aren't so fantastic, but maybe, why not?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't. I don't have because I know how to swim, but not that much.
I taught swim lessons for 10 years.
Okay.
I'll come to Mexico and teach you.
Oh yes, please. Yeah. And I will take you to a beautiful beach here that it's super warm and nothing to do with the US beach that is really cold.
Get me out of the snow.
And let's hope with the pandemics we can do that.
One day soon.
Yeah, I want to go to the beach right now, and I don't do it because my family I have family older than 60s, and me myself, I had some health problems in the past, so I really don't want to expose. Otherwise, I will be on the beach with my mask and everything, but I will be, you know. So
Yeah.
I get it. So thank you, Serena. Let's close this recording. I will stay with you just to say something at the end, but do you want to say goodbye somehow? Some special how with special moves? I'm just kidding.
It's too late. I already made them. So I know it's pandemic times, which means a lot of events have been canceled or postponed. I do have one event coming up that is online. So hopefully that means that it is accessible and affordable, which I think is important for the dance community. And it's called the Queer Afro-Latin Dance Festival. It's on the weekend of June 5th and June 6th, and I'm teaching a body movement class. So it's not specifically Latin dance, and it's not specifically belly dance either, but it is movement mechanics to create body movement that is more fluid within your body in any dance form that you do. So I think it's valuable for all dancers if you're interested. The festival also has 11 different dance forms. It has salsa, bachata, merengue, Latin fusion, Brazilian zouk, yoga, hip hop, jazz, heels, Vogue, and then my body movement class. And there's also performances and DJ sets so that you can party at home during pandemic times. So if you're interested, they have a Facebook page and they have an Instagram, Queer Afro-Latin Dance Festival. and we can also put that down below. But if you're interested in taking a class with me, this will probably be your only opportunity through the summer, because I'm really just not teaching very much right now. But if you're interested in the Afro-Latin arts, I think it's a really great festival, and being able to support queer performers and artists is something that I've been trying to do a lot. So I'm excited to be a part of this festival.
Wow, that's great. And we will share the link for the event, of course.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much, Serena, for everything. It was a pleasure. I'm a fan. Period. If people didn't notice, I'm a fan. So I'm very honored you accepted. I was very scared to first ask you for the interview, because you never know if people will want to have an interview. And second, that you accepted all my weird questions and my dance questions, because not dance, very heavy ones. I love how elegant were your responses. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't believe you're intimidated to ask me for an interview.
I'm still intimidating.
Don't be. But I really appreciate you having me, and I really appreciate the questions that you brought, because I think not only did they make me think, which I love, but I think that they will make the audience think as well of what their opinion is in moving the communities forward. And I think that's really important. So thank you for having me. It was super fun.
Thank you. We will close this meeting. And if you want to catch Serena, I will leave all the social media and all the events on the links. Thank you for watching, and thank you again, Serena.